Hi friends, today we are going to see the new topic, that is the function overloading. Okay, so let me start the presentation. So before starting the actual hands-on session on the operating system, operator overloading, we'll see what do mean by operator overloading and what is the use of it. So C++ has the ability to provide the operators with a special meaning for a data type, specific data type, and that data type can be of having the user type data type. So you can apply the existing operators to the existing data type, as well as you can apply the operators with a user defined data type, just like your objects. So the mechanism of such a giving special meaning to an operator is known as operator overloading. So operator overloading provides a flexible option for a creation of a new definition for more of a C++ operator. So if you want to give a special meaning to a existing operators, then we can overload that operator in that space in the existing classes. Just like, suppose the plus operator is generally used to add the two integers or the float values, but the same plus operator I can use to add a two complex number. I can define a class name as a complex, and I'm overloading that plus operator, and using that overloading I can now give that what is the way to add the two complex number, and whatever the logic for adding the two complex number I'm putting into that operator overloading function. So in C++ actually we can overload all the operators except the following, and that operators are class member access operator, just like dot operator and the star operator. Scope resolution operator is the second one, double colon. Third operator is the size of operator. Generally this size of operator is used to get the size of any object or the data type. The fourth one is the conditional operator, that is question mark and the colon. So these are the four operators that we cannot overload, but the remaining all the operators we can overload. We can give the special meaning to that operators. Now we will see what is the syntax of operator overloading. So we can achieve the operator overloading with a special function called as an operator function. So in C++ there is an existing function is there named as an operator. So using that operator function we can describe the whatever we want to do with that particular operator. The syntax of this operator overloading is return type, and then we are putting the class name, and then after that we are putting the function name as operator, and then the op represent which operator we want to overload. If I want to overload plus operator, we put operator plus there, that symbol we are putting there, and then after that argument list also we can do. So what are the arguments? In case of the binary operator there is a one argument. In case of the unary operator there is a zero argument is there, and then after that this declaration followed by the body of the function. In the body of the function we will declare that when this operator function will be called, what to do, what is the logic, what we want to do, that we are putting into the function body. So let's move towards the actual practice session of this operator overloading. We will open the Sublime Text. This is the editor that we are using. I am writing one class name as a space, and in that space class actually space is nothing but which defines the point. We know that if to define the space point we have the three axes x, y and z. Three axes are there. So to store any or to define any space point we need to give the 3 points there, x, y and z. So we are writing the class for the space, because space data type is not present in C++. So we are writing here, we are defining that xyz, we are declaring the xyz into the space class as a private. To access the xyz we are writing the getter method as a get data, which is taking the three argument int a, int b and int c. The next one is your display function, which is used to display the value of x, y and z. And the third is, and with that we are going to see as a operator minus. You can see I want to overload here minus operator. there are two kinds of minus operator. One is the unary minus, second one is the binary minus. Unary minus is nothing but it is only taking the single argument, that is minus and whatever the object is there. So there is a variable is there, a variable, and if you want to have the minus value of that variable, then we can do this minus. So here this, how you can say that this operator minus is a unary function, because there is a zero argument is there. If there is a one of the argument is present here, then you can say that is a binary kind of the operator overloading. So it is a, I'm using here in this example, I'm overloading the unary operator minus. The implementation of getData function is very easy one. We are getting the three value ABC from as an input to the getData, and we are applying that ABC value to the XYZ. X value assigned to A value assigned to X, B value assigned to Y, C value assigned to Z. Next one is the display function, in which we are printing the value of X, Y and Z value. The next function is the function of operator overloading. As it is a unary operator, actually we know that what is the meaning of minus, and the same meaning we have to apply here. So whatever the value of X, we will take the negative value of that one and we are storing into that X itself. So if X is the positive one, it become negative. If X is the negative, then X become positive. So same for the Y and Z. So we are putting the minus value of all the coordinates whenever this operator is being called. Next one, in a main function, generally we have created one object S1 of the type space. Then we have provided the data for the X, Y and Z. The X data is 5, Y data is -6 and the Z data is 9. So you call the getData function, so you will come here and whatever the value you are assigned to A, B, C, that is assigned to X, Y and Z. Next one is we are printing that value of S1 to check that it is assigned or not. So what we do, we are printing space point S1 is equal to, and we are calling the function as a S1.display. So when you are calling S1.display, the value of X, Y and Z, it is get stored here. The next one is we are applying here minus S1. When you apply the minus S1, then what happened? When you apply the minus S1, then what happened here? The function is get called as a S1 dot operator minus this one. So it means that whenever there is a minus S1, it is get resolved at a compile time as a S1 dot operator minus. So whatever the operator minus function is there, that will be called here. So and we have already written that operator minus function in your space class. So what it get do? It get negate the value of X, Y and Z. So whatever the X value get, its sign get inverted. Now to check the output, we are printing the value of S1. So now space point S1 becomes, and we are printing the value of S1 dot display. So we should get the output as a -5, 6 and 9 after applying this operator minus function. So let's check it. So here for running my program, I'm selecting my build system as a C++. Yeah, I selected, and then after that I'm click on the build. When I click on the build, your program get run, and let's see the output. The output is, yes, you can see that here the space point S1 is 5, -6 and 9, and after you have assigned here minus S1, then it becomes -5, 6 and -9. So whatever the X value, firstly it is positive, it becomes negative. Now negative value it becomes positive, and positive value becomes negative. So here it is the working of unary operator. This is the unary operator that we have overload. Now in next example, we will try to modify the same program, and the same operator we are overloading. Now what is the change in my program? Actually if you can see in the last example, the return type of the operator minus is the void. Yes, we can switch again to the previous program and you can see here the return type of the operator minus is void, because this minus s1 will not change to, it will not return anything, so we cannot assign this one to any object. Suppose this s2 object is there, so we cannot do this s2 is equal to minus s1 because it is not returning anything, because return type is void. So what we can do here, we can modify this function such that, so here it returns the space, Actually in this program what we are doing here, we are doing the same program, but instead of void we are returning one object here, we are returning an object. So how it is implemented, we can see here, space, it is a return type, so that's why we must have to create one object of space. So one object temp is get created, and what I have done, whatever the previous value of x is get first, we can get it as a minus of x, and that gets stored into the temp of x. Whatever the value of y we are getting the minus y from it, and we are assigning to the temp of y. Same for the z. So it means that here you can say that here whatever the object x, y, z, its value get minus, all the x, y, z value get minus, and that minus value get assigned to temp x, y, z. So you can get just opposite points as a temp here. So and we are returning that temp. So here we need to demonstrate this program, we require the two objects s1 and s2. So s1 is initialized with the 5 minus 6 and 9, and now I am displaying the s1. Now here this is the thing that we are doing here, so that is minus s1. So here the function called as a s1 dot operator minus, the function called as operator minus. But now in this time actually, if you are calling the operator minus function, it return a object of space. So we can assign this function to the any object here. So whatever the return value, it gets stored into the s2. So here the meaning of s2 is equal to minus s1 is s2 is equal to s1 dot operator minus this one. So it's the same unary operator we have overloaded, but the difference is that the previous one is returning void, now this one is returning an object of space. Now we can change here what is the object value of s2. It should be minus 5, 6 and minus 9, but here the s1 value I am not changing here, because the value of x, y and z of that s1 is altered here, because we are not doing x is equal to minus x, y is equal to minus y and z is equal to minus z. So in this program actually we are trying to implement the same unary minus that is available in our real life, that is whatever the negative value of s1 get assigned to s2, but the s2 becomes unaltered, the s1 becomes unaltered, so s2 is only altered. So try to run this program and we will check that what is the output of this program. Yes, hey, you can see here now my space point s1 is 5 minus 6 9, and s2 is just the opposite point of the s1, minus 5 6 and minus 9, but s1 is still it is 5 minus 6 and 9. Why? In a previous program it is minus 5 6 and minus 9, but in this program s1 is unaltered because we have not implemented that one inside this operator minus function. If you are implementing, then that is also possible, but in this program I want to assign only the negative value of s1 to s2 only, and in that way I have overloaded it. So I think you have got this point what I want to say, how to overload the unary operator. In the next session we will see that how the binary operator is being overloaded. So thank you.